Hi there guys and girls, as you know I'm back in Australia and I thought I'd give you guys finally my thoughts on the new Mortal Kombat game, aka Mortal Kombat 9. This game is actually officially called Mortal Kombat. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to break these videos up just because I tend to ramble on and talk and if I do it as one big video it's going to be epic, too big, you know. So I'm going to split this up into different categories about the new game. So the first thing I'll say is take the E3 badge off, stretch out a bit and enjoy this awesome t-shirt that I got from the booth. I wish all you guys could have a t-shirt, honestly. It's a great t-shirt. I tried to get some but they wouldn't give me any, other than every time I lined up you got one, you know. But I asked could I get 10 and do giveaways and they said no. So it's a real shame that you guys can't have one. I'll give you guys a proper look at it. I got two shirts and I'm obviously keeping both. They're different sizes actually. One's an extra large, one's a large. They both fit me though. So that's it there. So as you can see it's got the heart, the open rib cage and Fatality down the side there. And on the back it's got the finish here and the Mortal Kombat logo. So it's an awesome t-shirt. I'm hoping they make more and you know, maybe if they make more then we can do some giveaways, but I don't know. I don't know if they're going to do anything like that. I know Hector's going to be giving away some. If you sign up to his Facebook or something. You know, I think he wanted 85,000 fans. And then he's going to give some shirts away, and then on the first, I'm not sure if it's going to be on the first one, but during the MCast, the new MCast that's coming out. Yeah, that's my E3 pass. It says my name and Total Mortal Kombat. I'm wearing the silicone badge you got. It was supposed to give you a priority to check out any of the Warner games, but there's fine print which isn't printed on the badge that says if you're a fanboy that doesn't qualify, come back another time. Yeah, I gave away a lot of patches at E3. I took about 22 or 24 of them, and I've got 7 left. So I've got to send one or two to some people already who asked for one. But yeah, I gave one to Ed Boon. He really liked it. He said he was going to put a photo on his Twitter, but he hasn't. So I don't know if he's going to or not. But yeah, Ed Boon scored a Total Mortal Kombat patch and a Total. Well, I'm not wearing it. A Total Mortal Kombat T-shirt. I also gave a Total Mortal Kombat T-shirt to Hector and a patch as well. But all the people on the Mortal Kombat team I gave a patch to. So yeah, they're the people who got most of the patches because I didn't bump into any YouTube fans. I bumped into a few other casual MK fans. I gave them a patch anyway, just for being MK fans. Alright, now that that's all out the way, I'm going to talk about the new Mortal Kombat. So this first video, I'm going to talk about characters. Okay, so as you're aware, the select screen had 26 spots on it, and then it had a spot for DLC and a spot for random select. Other than that, in the background we saw a few other characters that weren't on the select screen. Steve Baran told us that they were toying with characters at the moment, the background characters. They would keep changing it. In the trailer you see Lee Mee, and then in the E3 build it was Katana, you know. And then we saw Dagon and Kenshi fighting in the background on the pit too. But he said, as he said, every time there's a new build, they sort of just change the characters around. So, yeah, I doubt, honestly, I doubt that Dagon and Kenshi will be in it because they're Armageddon characters. And as Ed said in my interview, it's most likely Mortal Kombat 1, 2, 3. So. But, you know, there's still a chance that characters from Deadly Alliance or Deception or Armageddon will be in it. I think Rain will be in it, even though he had the strongest presence in Armageddon. That's when he became a mainstream character, even though he was sort of in it in Trilogy and that. You know, I don't really consider that as strong as when he was in Armageddon because that's when he had his own unique moves. Other than, well, he had unique moves in Trilogy. How do I say it? He was just another palette swap ninja, you know. That you couldn't play as on the arcade, and then they just sort of made him a character. I don't know. I really didn't like him much in Trilogy. What else? Okay, I've got all the characters here. Okay, so there were 8 characters in the E3 build. Scorpion, Molina, Reptile, Sub-Zero, Kung Lao, Johnny Cage, Nightwolf, and Sector. All the characters, honestly, when you're playing this game, I got to play it for, I'd say, about 2 hours total. Honestly, when you're playing it, it just feels like you're playing Mortal Kombat 2. That's no lie. When I say give a statement like that, what I'm referring to is the speed of the game and the feel of the game. See, with the last generation of games, they didn't feel like the old school. They felt. I still liked playing them. Don't get me wrong, but when I was playing Deadly Alliance, Deception, Armageddon, they felt slow. Not slow, sluggish. Whereas the thing was, it was still cool. It was that more like, it was more slow and deadly, and it was still Mortal Kombat. It was still its own game. It was its own mechanic, so it worked. But I always thought, if we really want this game to pick up like it used to, we need it faster. Because I believe a fast fighting game is an awesome fighting game. And I base that on two things. Obviously, Mortal Kombat 2, which was extremely fast, faster than Mortal Kombat 1, and Killer Instinct, which I consider the two best fighting games of all time. I don't consider Street Fighter one of the best fighting games of all time, even though there's Turbo and Hyper and Championship Edition and all those stupid editions. I just, it's a good game, don't get me wrong, it's not my thing, but I believe Killer Instinct is a lot better than Street Fighter. And a fast fighting game adds so much, because when you can pull those moves off quickly and think quickly during the match, then you know what you're doing. But when you got time, what am I going to do next? That's not cool. You got to think in the now. And fast. And when it's fast, you play it fast, and adrenaline builds up, and you get a rush from it. Anyone who's played Mortal Kombat in the old school arcade days will tell you that. I used to get the biggest adrenaline rush having matches. Like, there were a few people who could almost beat me, and sometimes they'd get the occasional win against me, but most of the time I was considered the best player. No one could beat me. And we'd have these matches that would come really close, especially as we played more and more, people started to learn my tricks, and then I had to learn new tricks and new strategies, and just the rush of playing it like that was something I haven't had since the arcades. Playing it here at home, even if I was playing it 2-player, you wouldn't get it because it's not fast enough, and when you're standing next to the person and you're playing, it's so much better than playing online. So yeah, the fact that we had the speed now and the 2D playing is incredible. I don't know if you guys know this, but when my old website, when they first announced Mortal Kombat 5, Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance, I had a poll up on there. I don't know if any of you guys would have been fans of my site back then, but I'll give you the lowdown anyway. The poll was, do you think the new Mortal Kombat should be 2D and 3D? So I never was against 3D, but I always thought maybe there should be a mode or an option to make it a locked 2D plane. And the poll was through the roof. Everyone said yes, 2D. We want a 2D option. And so that's always been in the back of my head that it'd be nice to have 2D again. And I think what really did it, honestly, was Street Fighter 4. They remade, pretty much Street Fighter 4 was a remake of Street Fighter 2 with nice backgrounds and a 2D plane, which is what this is. However, if you've watched a lot of the Ed Boon interviews, which I did, I watched a lot of them, apparently Ed's had this idea before they did it, before the Street Fighter guys did it. He wanted to do it, take it 2D and do that. So that's impressive. Yeah, so, and here's the other test. When I was playing it, I played by myself, and then I played with Chris for a while from komidogu.com. And, there was a book in front of us, a book, and it had all the characters. It had their concept art, what looks like, what's going to be their render there. We weren't allowed to take photos of it. And it had all the moves. in the book. But, you know, when you got the control in your hand, you're not going to be flipping through a book. You know, you just want to play the game, you know. And, you know, you can press start and go to moves list as well, but then you got to stop the game to look at the moves. So a few times I said to Chris, I just want to check this move, but I didn't really want to. I just wanted to play the game. And here was the test, if it really felt like a Mortal Kombat 2 or 3 game. I was Johnny Cage, and I was trying to get that shadow uppercut out, but it wouldn't work. And I could do the shadow kick and that. And I just suddenly remembered, you know, in Mortal Kombat 2, anyone who's played 2-player games, you can spam high-low fireballs and sort of keep your opponent on the opposite end of the screen and sort of put the pressure on them. They don't know what the fuck to do because you're throwing a high fireball, then a low one, then a low one, then a low one, then a low one, then a high one, low one, low one, and you're just mixing it up, you know, and they don't know what the hell to do because they don't know which one you're going to throw next, a high or a low fireball. And I decided to try that out on Chris. And I was doing it, and I was just laughing, just being a real prick, you know, and I was just doing that. And that's when it felt like Mortal Kombat 2 to me, because I had him on the other side of the screen, just like the old school days, and I was throwing high and low fireballs, and then I was just laughing. And then he just looked at me, he's like, you're such a cheap player. But I don't think he knew what I was doing, you know, he didn't really sort of know that I was testing it like that. And I was just, you know, also just mucking around, you know. So all the characters have their moves from the game they're from. So like Johnny Cage had the shadow kick. I don't know if he had the shadow uppercut. He had the high-low fireballs. I'm not I know he did. He had the ball breaker. I did it once by accident. And I'm not sure, he had a new move, like a sort of an up flip, a shadow up flip kick thing. So pretty much the characters all have their classic moves. I'll start from the top of my list. I've got Scorpion on there. So Scorpion had his teleport punch, his harpoon, his scissor kick. He had the Hellfire move, I believe. And the thing is too, with the mechanic, you're able to do super moves now too. I'll get into that when I talk about mechanics. Then there was also, with Scorpion, each character, when you start a match, they have like an intro and a win pose. So when Scorpion comes in, I think he just sort of drops down or appears out of fire, like, you know. And then when he wins, he drops down into the nether realm, you know. He drops down through the floor and it's like, you know, it's all fire around him, you know. It's like Scorpion wins, you know. Then you got Molina, who believes, you know, showed her teeth at the start of the match, and she had her classic moves, the side toss, the teleport kick, the roll, and she had this bite move where you can jump on their neck and bite them, sort of like Nitara. And then you had Reptile, and Reptile looks amazing. I know by now you guys have all seen Reptile, and I'm really bummed I couldn't be one of the first to put that picture of Reptile up, because I got a perfect snapshot of the screen, and it had Sector versus Reptile with those high-res renders, and I was fucking creaming. I'm like, fuck, you know, and I was like, all I could think of is the reaction this was going to get when I put it online and showed everyone. And I'm like, oh my god, the fucking MK friends are going to freak, because I followed the whole thing with Reptile for a long time. You got, you know, people from Group A and Group B, you know. Some people who like the tail, some people who hate the tail, and they want him like ninja form, and they decided to go with ninja form, but he was still Reptile underneath. He looks sick, you know. And I'm thinking, fuck, he looks awesome. And yeah, Warner Brothers just would not let me post those pictures, so I was really pissed about it, honestly. But the reason they wouldn't let anyone post it's pretty obvious now. They had some fucking exclusive with GameSpot going, so, you know, they told us that no one was going to be allowed to post video or pictures. No one. And no one to me means no one. Not, oh, at the end of the last day, here you go, GameSpot. And also, and Screw Attack, they told me that they were going to take that video down. It's still online, so they had to deal with game trailers as well. I guess, you know, us as fans, we're not good enough to get exclusives anymore. We're not even allowed to post little pictures, even though they've got full video streaming, live setups, You can't even post some amateuristic shot of a screen. They wouldn't let me post the select screen. Chris wanted a photo of the bar, the super bar, and they wouldn't let him do it. They wouldn't let us do anything. We got our interviews and we got to play. Yes, that was cool, but you know, honestly, if someone said, yeah, we got MK at E3, you won't be taking any photos or video though, you still want to come? I'd probably say no. The reason I went is so I can show you guys. You know, I get a kick out of being able to promote the game and say to everyone, this is the game. And when I can't do that, I just, you know, yeah, it's cool. I get to interview Ed Boon and got some great answers, and the team's awesome. But I could have done this at home, you know. I could have stayed here, you know, spent $4,000 going overseas, you know, to make the MK community bigger and larger. But oh well, them's the breaks. I didn't really want to rant, but it just makes me really upset, you know. Especially when you get back to Australia and all these sites have gotten exclusives, you know. There's these MK Universe have got these concept art pictures and they're not saying where they got them from, and Warner Brothers aren't saying anything, and it's just annoying. I feel like I've got to start again with these people, you know. With Midway, I was pretty, by the end, you know, Midway were really cool. They knew what I was about, and I got them a lot of exposure. And I've gotten Warner's a lot of exposure too. 21,000 views, 22,000 views on the official MK trailer, which is more than on their official MK community channel, which is sitting on 15,000. So I've got them 7,000 views more, and they wouldn't even let me have a picture. Anyway, back to Reptile. So Reptile's got his moves. He's got the slide kick, the acid spit, the force ball. I'm not sure if he was able to go invisible, but I'm sure he will be able to, because that's how he starts the match. He's invisible and then appears, you know. Yeah, I don't remember his win pose. Let me think for a second. Don't remember it. No. Okay. Then we had Sub-Zero. Freeze. He had the ice freeze, the ground freeze, and when you touch it, it like creeps up your leg and then you freeze like that. He had the slide kick. He had that move where he makes like an icicle, jabs it into his shoulder and snaps it off, which is in the trailer. It's a fucking awesome move. It looks great. Then we had Kung Lao. He had the hat toss. He had that air kick. I don't think he had that cyclone spinning thing. He had what's the other fucking moves? I think Kung Lao's moves. He had the teleport. He didn't have many moves in MK2. He had the hat throw. Just realised. Johnny Cage, I spoke about his moves already. Nightwolf had the Shadow Charge. He had the Tomahawk Uppercut, the Spirit Arrow. Just a Shadow Charge. Lightning Summon. Sector had the Teleport Uppercut, the Straight Missile, the Drop Down Missile, and the Homing Missile. Yeah, so one other thing. This reminds me, when I was playing as Sector, you don't do the teleport uppercut with forward anymore. It's down forward. I believe this is because now in the new Mortal Kombat, even though it's a 2D plane, you still got escape moves. So if you press back, you escape, and usually forward's like a dash. I don't remember if there was a dash in it though. But it seems like there were no forward moves, and it's probably reserved in case they do add this function later. Alright, so that's pretty much all the moves for the 8 characters. Now I should talk about the fatalities. I saw most of the fatalities, and I figured it out, how to do it. And even Chris freaked out. I'm like, hey Chris. He looked across, and I was Scorpion, and I'm like, nah, you know, and I was doing the fatalities. Like, how'd you know how to do that? And I looked at Steve Baran, and I went, experience. The reason I knew was that it was the same as Mortal Kombat versus DC Universe. It was the same combination. And when I was watching the presentation when they first did the fatality, I saw Scorpion doing that duck down, so I knew it was the same combination. Yeah, the combo was down, down, down. B was how you did the fatalities, and the pit one was down, down, down. A. So Scorpion's fatality, he cuts your legs off, and then cuts you in half, and then cuts your head off, and your head flies up, and then he slices it in two, and the head splits in two. Molina sort of jumps on you and like just eats, and blood's coming out, it's going everywhere. Reptiles was awesome. He vomits acid up down your throat, and and then sort of he rips your stomach out or holds it up or something. Really weird. Sub-Zero was, what did he do? I forgot what Sub-Zero did. Sub-Zero. Oh, the spine rip, yeah. He ripped out the spine, but he ripped it out through your stomach. So he grabbed the spinal cord from the bottom and sort of ripped it out, and the head sort of came off and through the front. Kung Lao, as you've seen, he has two. He has the one with the hat on the ground where he pulls you through and slices you in two, then holds up the two halves. And then there was the hat throw, which cuts your head off. And then as the hat comes out, if you're watching the 3D one, it comes out of the screen and then grabs it. Johnny Cage had the torso rip, I believe. Yeah. Nightwolf, I'm not sure about Nightwolf. I couldn't do Nightwolf. I was trying to do it and I couldn't do it. Just trying to think if I saw it. I don't think I saw anyone do Nightwolf's fatality. Can't think of it. If you've seen it, post a comment, because I've either just gone blank. I'll probably see it and then remember, that's right, But I can't think of Nightwolf's fatality at all. And then there was Sector's, so yeah, blows you up, and then all your pieces go everywhere, and then he locks onto all those chunks and then blows those up. So that was an awesome fatality. Have I talked about everything to do with the characters? I believe that's it. I talk a long time. I didn't want to rush this video because I want to try and remember everything I can about the game. I really wish you guys could have played it. It was so much fun. Even playing it single player or multiplayer with Chris, that was a lot of fun. Even just being a cheap ass with the fireball spam just took me back to the MK2 days. Yeah. I had a match with Hector Sanchez, actually. I really wish I could have showed you guys. I did get my rematch, and Hector wiped the fucking floor with me. And Chris as well. Yeah, we both picked Scorpion, and Hector straight away was... He was really good at it. He was straight away setting up combos, and the pressure was on, I couldn't think. I was trying to think, how can I escape this, because he was so experienced with the game, and I couldn't break free because he kept doing these combos and I was losing all my health. So I sort of backed away and started doing just basic attacks, went back to fly kicks and that was being effective. But by the time, I'd figured all that out, the match was over, I'd pretty much lost all my health. And Hector beat me, and then he just dropped out the controller and he went, "There, put that on your fucking website." It was hilarious. And then he goes, "Why don't you call me in a few hours when you actually know how to play the game?" And so yeah, Hector burnt me. I really wish you guys could have seen it. It was awesome. Chris was laughing. And then, yeah, so it was great. I want to say the Mortal Kombat team were fantastic. Steve Barram, Sean Hemerick, Hector Sanchez, Ed Boon, Paula Garcia, John Edwards, Hans Lowe, Rigo, everyone there with a Mortal Kombat shirt on were great. They were so helpful, willing to talk about the game, pretty much a lot. They gave a lot of information, I just, I really wish I could have shown you guys. It's just Warner PR. They've got these deals set up with these big websites, and there's no room left for the small guys, even though I'm the one that gets all the exposure from Mortal Kombat on YouTube. That's the way she crumbles. Alright, so I'm going to just finish up this character review video now. And next up I'll probably talk about the arenas. I've got arenas to talk about, I've got mechanics to talk about, and then sort of just an overall thing. So yeah, thanks for watching my first impressions of Mortal Kombat, aka Mortal Kombat 9, which is scheduled for release in 2011. So you got a big fucking wait. But it's going to be worth it, trust me. This game is fucking awesome. I can't wait to see which characters they pick out for the end. I should say, actually, before I go, in my Ed Boon interview, Ed said pretty much anyone you can imagine in Mortal Kombat 1, 2 or 3, the main characters will be in the game. So if you think about it, if you think about Mortal Kombat 1, all of the characters have pretty much became mainstream. So you could almost guarantee that everyone in MK1 is going to be in it, and most from MK2 as well. That being said, I hope Kintaro's in the game. Shao Kahn looks wicked in the trailer. I love that when he walks out. He's really heavy. He's like, he comes out, you know, with the armor on, and Raiden's like, you know, Raiden's like all like skinny. He's not strong, but he's got the power of lightning, you know. I hope Kintaro's in it. I would love to fight Kintaro in that arena. I would love it. He has to be in the game. It's not Khan's Arena without it. It's not even called Khan's Arena anymore. It's called Khan's Coliseum. This is a bit of a nitpick. I'd actually prefer it to be called Khan's Arena. I actually think Arena sounds cooler. But, you know, whatever. The level's in the game. It's called Khan's Coliseum now. I love that Tormentor in the background. There's this big monster there, and it's sort of fighting off some, like, peasants fighting him off. And he's like, ugh. Looks like the Orochi Hellbeast from Shaolin Monks. But, yeah, I hope Kintaro's in the game. But yeah, I just thought I should mention that because it's character related. That Ed said pretty much anyone you can imagine who's popular in Mortal Kombat 1, 2 or 3 will probably be in it. So he pretty much guaranteed Liu Kang. As far as MK3 goes, I'll be interested to see what characters they pick. Would Sindel be in it? I think Sindel should be in it. You know, would Shiva be in it? I don't think so. Striker? I hope Striker's in it. I love Striker. I think Striker would be a great character in this Mortal Kombat. Make him fucking hardcore. He'd get the X-ray mode and put the gun like right in their fucking ribs and be like bang, 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 and like fire the gun off like 3 times. Like, doof, 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 doof. That'd be sick. Oh man, yeah, that'd be awesome. Fucking love X-ray mode. It's crazy, man. I'm going to talk more about that when I get to the mechanics video. So thanks for watching.